So, Leap has officially launched into its early access period as of about a week ago now at the time of writing this video. And I'm willing to bet that a lot of you, outside of, my channel right now, haven't heard much about this game. Maybe you've seen a fellow content creator cover it, but you probably haven't seen much of it in the wider sphere of coverage. Well, there's some very fair concerns surrounding the game as it launched into early access, considering that the player counts on Steam suggest that the game is practically dead on arrival. So, we need to talk about this game, its future, and some of the things that you need to know now if you're contemplating getting into the game. G'day there once again viewers, your mate Kamikaze78 here, and today we're going to be talking about Leap and everything you need to know about it as it goes into early access. So, first things first guys, you can probably tell that my voice is a little cooked right now. It's because I'm not feeling 100%, so excuse me as I try to get through this video and this commentary. But as some of you may remember, I gave this game a glowing review coming out of the playtest about a month ago. And with the release of the game now, my thoughts on the game as such still remain. It's an incredibly well-crafted, well-thought-out, high-skill shooter that rewards aim, positioning, pacing, and good use of a bunch of movement mechanics. All of that remains to be true despite the launch of the game, but when you look at the Steam store page and the player counts for the game, it doesn't reflect such a happy ending. It doesn't tell the same story. With the game only just, and I mean just, averaging double-digit player counts at this stage and sporting a mixed rating on Steam, it's a pretty harsh start. And I think one of the biggest contributors to that fact is the fact that, well, the game is not free to play like many had suspected it would be. The game instead costs a cool, crisp $42.95 Australian dollars, or around 30-ish US dollars if my conversions are correct, which has thrown a few people off and has led to some pretty significant disappointment, which is fair, given that there wasn't really much in the way of communication as to whether the game would or would not be free to play in the lead up to the launch. The developers have been kind enough to give me a code to give away in this video, so if you're seeing this gameplay and you're interested in the game, get subscribed, like the video, and leave a comment down below telling me about why you're interested in playing Leap, including your Discord ID, and I will pick a winner in a week's time from the release date of this video. But anyway, with that price point in mind, I think it's definitely worth asking as to whether or not there's enough on offer here to make it worth said price point. And to me, it's tough, because as I said before, the core gameplay is there and man is it good. But with this smaller player base, there are certainly times of inactivity that you don't see getting a lot of action. The advertised 60-player modes are practically non-existent at this stage because the servers simply aren't populated in those modes. It's worth pointing out here too, and clarifying, that it's not necessarily an issue that stems from lack of server region support. The game has a ton of server regions accounted for, even Australian servers, which is great to see as an Australian gamer. But right now, the quote-unquote content is a little harder to access due to the fact that, well, a lot of the content comes from actually having people to fight across multiple game modes and match presets, and that's hard to come by right now. The game is in early access, so if you're looking into this game and wondering whether or not you are keen on it, here's how I would look at it. If you are genuinely interested in this style of shooter and you want to be an active part of the early community that adopts the game to help the developers improve it and grow it and get it out of early access, and you're also willing to pay the money knowing full well that that's the dynamic you're getting into, then go for it, go wild. At this stage, the game is very much in its early infancy years and has a lot of maturing to do before we get to that point of critical mass. And anyone who gets into the game now, myself included, is very much joining the developers for a ride to try and make the game as great as it can be and realize its full potential. Now, I know that some will be skeptical that the developers are going to dump the game early due to the nature of the release. I was starting to share those exact same concerns myself. However, in an industry that has felt a bit shady at best lately, the developers at Blue Isle Studios have released what I can only describe as the most down-to-earth development update that I've seen in a long time that addressed a lot of pain points head on. Right away, the developers attacked the point and concerns surrounding the mixed reviews for the game and the lacking player count, and that players feared that an abandonment of the title was coming. Brendan, the technical director and co-founder of the game, stated, and I quote, "This is definitely not going to happen. We're a healthy company that has been in the games industry for over a decade. We have big plans for this game, and we agree with the community's assessment there is still much to be done. The game is slated at the bare minimum to get to a stable 1.0 launch that includes the released console and the upcoming updates, which are as such: new game modes, maps, and game features, mod support, bug fixes and polish, performance improvements, and regular engagement with the community. The developers also took a moment to defend their choice to stick with the pay-to-play model as opposed to going with a free-to-play model, and I have to say, I agree with the stance. Free-to-play games mean that cheating, in particular, can be a true plague on the game, as account bans mean truly nothing, and a sophisticated anti-cheat system that isn't as useless as tits on a bull is expensive and hard to create, especially one that is able to counter cheats proactively. And for a team this size, which they've confirmed in this article is only 15 in size, that's not a viable endeavor at this point. They've also remarked that free-to-play would have, yes, reduced the barrier for entry, but it doesn't necessarily equal player retention. And to my Planet Side 2 players in the audience, you guys should know that this is as true a statement as any, given, well, the player retention issues that game has. Free-to-play does mean more eyeballs in your game, but it also does mean aggressive monetization tactics as well to, pay for the game's way. And, well, that isn't always the best route in my opinion. The developers have also commented on the lacking of marketing and how the game's presence in the wider discourse of the gaming industry is lacking. A marketing strategy and budget for the game is in place, but they also acknowledge that this is not the time for that, and I couldn't agree more. The last thing you want to do is advertise a game when it is in a period of major development and has a lot of planned content still missing. If your game is set to be a lot better than what it currently is, then save that marketing for when you can accurately demonstrate that degree of quality and, well, you can accurately tell people to come play the game because it's the best it's going to be. We have all seen lately what happens when you put marketing before quality control of the game that you are marketing. Battlefield 2042 is a key example of that, and, well, we're going to be talking about Season 1 for that game very shortly as well, so make sure you subscribe for that too. At the end of the day, guys, Leap is in a moment of turbulence in its life cycle. The future isn't certain for this game, which makes me worried because I really want it to succeed with all my might, which is why you'll see me covering the game whenever I see it fit to do so. I want to support the developers and offer my feedback accordingly to make this game the best it can be, because damn it, it has the core concepts down pat. I'm also really sick and tired of seeing good, arena-based, skill-orientated shooters with excellent movement mechanics go down the drain time and time again due to any number of factors. So whenever I see a game like this come to fruition, I'm hopeful. I'm a hopeful person by nature, and I hope that this game sees the success that I truly believe it feels it deserves in the long run. Every time a title like this fails, it just tells the rest of the industry that this style of first-person shooter is dead. And that is a sad reality that I don't want to see realized. I'm not saying you should go out and blindly buy this game as a panic to try and save a genre. The onus isn't on the gamers to do that. It's on the developers. And I really hope the developers are up to the task on this one. But I now want to hear from you guys. Let me know down below if you are interested in trying Leap. Have you tried it, or has something put you off from giving the game a go yet? Leave it in the comment section down below, and if you want to try Leap and you haven't had a chance to do so, then make sure you plop your Discord ID down below as well, and you may be in the running to win a code from me. Remember to backhand the like button if you enjoyed the video. I'd greatly appreciate it, considering that my voice currently feels like I'm going through hell right now. And also be sure to hit that subscribe button if you're new here as well. It keeps you updated as to when we upload a new video or whenever we go live here on YouTube as well. Once again, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Peace out, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Take care, guys. Have a good one.